Welcome everybody to the On the Block podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Yalo. I'm here with contestants from Big Brother Minecraft Season 8, Brian, Jake, Popoli, and Ray. And also a special guest here, one of my favorite friends of all time. We have Mr. Robert Palin, Robster88YT. Everyone give a round of applause for Robster. So welcome guys to episode 6 of the On the Block podcast. We just unfortunately had to say goodbye to one of the most polarizing house guests this season, being Popoli. And yeah, Popoli, why don't you bring us through your emotions right now? Like how did it feel to get evicted?
What do you mean by that? Polarizing.
Polarizing.
Is that racist?
No,
No, it's not.
no, not at all.
I was pissed. I was pissed and I was upset and I felt betrayed. And the worst part of all of it is watching that episode back. For some reason, I still felt like there was a chance I could have stayed in.
Right. Yeah.
I just relived it all over again.
Damn. Yeah, man. I mean, I was one of your biggest fans coming into this. I really was hoping you would make it further in the game, but you didn't even make it to the jury, Popoli. What the hell, man?
No.
Yeah. So, fortunately, so now we know the pre-jury. So the pre-jury, we have Heather, TJ, Popoli. We won't see them till finale night, unfortunately. So we'll have to say goodbye to them. You won't be seeing them on your TV or iPhone screens or whatever you watch the show on. But let's kind of dive into the episode. So everyone here, like we got Brian, Jake, Ray, Popoli. Everyone was there. Everyone saw Beans win the power veto. What were your guys' reactions to that?
No.
I
only say no. It's not like in a bad way. No, I just didn't want them to have a chance to both stay in that week, honestly. So I didn't want her to win the veto. But hey, gives props to you. You won a competition. I'll give it to her.
Exactly. So Popoli, obviously you threw the competition to Beans. It was quite known that to the viewers at least that you were doing this to throw the competition to Beans. I'm sure you explained it a little bit in the last podcast, but if you want to just kind of rehash it to the viewers that may have not listened to that one, why did you throw the competition to Beans?
Well, I completely forgot something that happened until it was said in this episode. So I knew that Jake wanted me out more. So I knew if I got the veto, then Jake would take it from me if he beat me in the competition. So by making sure Beans kept it, it'll be okay. But I completely forgot that Aiden also messaged me telling me to throw it so that he would keep me in if I was on the block. So I had two other people on there telling me to throw it. And my ass was like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah. And it must have been pretty frustrating for you watching this back, seeing that Beans was like, from right off the jump, she was really thinking about using this veto on you, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so how does that make you feel? That like the perfect scenario in your eyes could have worked out in your favor.
Yeah. I'm honestly, it just makes me, I'm relieved that I got away from that toxic relationship because it was just not good.
Yeah, of course. How did everyone else feel about that? Because obviously Beans made it pretty public throughout the house, and we're going to dive into that a little bit later, but Beans made it pretty public that she was going to use the veto on Popoli. And did that make anybody here feel a little bit uneasy?
Oh, I'd love to speak on that, actually.
Yeah, go for it, Jake.
Reigning HOH.
Yeah.
Definitely not my preference, but that's just me. But no, yeah, obviously I put these two people up for a reason. I didn't want an Aiden situation or an Ivy situation where I had to nominate a third person for the week.
Yeah.
Something we'll get into later is when Beans talks to me directly about that plan.
Yes.
I have stuff to say about that, but I'll save that for later. But obviously I was not happy about that.
Right. So right after the veto competition happens, Beans goes up to your HOH room and starts talking about who, just ideas, throwing names out. She throws out Brad's name. Was Brad ever someone that you were considering throwing up on the block at that point in the game?
So it's really interesting because Brad was kind of my friend by association in the game at this point. Aiden really advocated for Brad, and obviously Aiden and I had a back and forth relationship with Aiden, but Aiden and I thought that we were close. So it's kind of like when you're having lunch with your best friend and then they bring this random person to the lunch table. So you're trying to be polite. So for that reason, I was not going to put Brad up. And then at that point, I heard Maxim's name a few times, had no conversations with them. So definitely leaning more towards him.
Right.
Or more towards Maxim.
So I want to jump to another conversation here. Also, Ray is frozen right now, and that's scaring the hell out of me. I don't know.
Screenshot that.
Screenshot that.
He looks like an English teacher. Wow.
Screenshot
For those of you who
that.
probably listen to the audio, you probably don't know what's going on.
Exactly. Yeah. I did want to jump into this conversation that Brian was having with Aiden. So obviously there was a moment during the nomination ceremony that was pretty unprecedented. Jake was asking people at the nomination ceremony. We touched on this last episode, but Jake was asking people who they want nominated. But Popoli, you had threw Brian's name under the bus, and Brian's now in this call. Let's squash the beef. What was going on? What's going on?
Like I said, it was just you were just opposite me. I don't know what was going through your head, but
I wasn't really opposite. I would say horizontal because Brad was opposite of you.
wow. I mean,
But I
you were going hard. You were like, I want this bitch out. I want him gone. I want him gone. Like, why did you think I was going? Did you think I was going after you because you were black? Is that what you thought?
Oh my!
Oh my god!
Because you were coming after me like crazy.
No! Oh
no, that wasn't no, that wasn't the reason.
God damn, bro.
Whoa!
It's because the first 2 weeks I was like I was chilling the first 2 weeks, obviously. Had my E2 alright or whatever. But I thought Jake was actually taking the recommendations to heart. So I thought I was about to go up because Jake was about to listen to you and put me up, and I was about to be like really angry. That didn't happen. So I mean, personally, I just didn't like my name being out.
Yeah,
I just lost my composure. Damn, that was wild.
Sorry, I don't know if you
not
could keep that in.
expecting that.
I don't know if you could keep that, but I was like,
Oh my god!
No, yeah, I mean,
the opportunity was there.
Oh my goodness.
yeah, no, that's funny. But then so Popoli, you did apologize to Brian, and Brian, like, did you think in that moment? Do you think Popoli was sincere to you? Like, do you think that he actually was being genuine in that moment?
He probably was, but my mind was like, you know what, let me help you pack your bags so you're fucking out the door. Like the second I get to vote you out.
Yeah.
So I think he was genuine. I just think Game Me was like, I don't really care what he has to say because he said my name. So I went out that week. So I can't really say anything. When we were still in the game, I probably didn't think he was being sincere, but afterwards I think he was sincere about it.
Right. All
I
right.
love you, Popoli.
Yeah.
I love you. Aww.
Oh, Ray's back.
Yeah, heart back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Ray.
What's up, Ray?
Oh my god.
Your face is frozen. Your face is frozen for a good
I don't
second.
think you've had more trouble with the contestants.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah. Anyway, so back to reality. Here we go. So, let's see. So after that conversation, Popoli learns by Beans, because Beans had just talked to Jake. Popoli learns from Beans. Popoli, you're Jake's target, and that Jake wants you out. And so at this point, Popoli becomes this happy jokester, very uplifting guy, just the comic relief character of the season. He's going out guns blazing, and he's like, "Fuck Jake, I don't want him." You know what I mean? Like, he's just going like hardcore after.
I hate his ass.
Yeah, right. So it was a very interesting switch of tone in Popoli's character, which I really thought was cool. You're seeing a different side of Popoli. It was more of like a balls to the walls type of scenario here. And Ray was in that conversation. And Ray, one of the most important parts of this is that Ray went and snitched on Beans and Popoli, goes right to Jake and was like, "Hey, Popoli knows, Beans knows." But it didn't really matter at that point because Jake was ultimately just looking for a pawn. Jake was looking for someone to just throw out because obviously the target was still Popoli. So it didn't matter what was being said. They were just looking for a pawn. So in that conversation, that's when Maxim's name gets thrown out. So obviously, like, what were your guys' thoughts on Maxim at this point in the game?
I guess I'll speak on that.
Yeah.
I was never really aligned with Maxim. I wanted to get in with him.
Yeah.
Because he had a lot of connections and pull in the house. But at the same time, I felt like, not because I'm, not one of the dolls, but
you aren't? Oh, I thought you were.
No, I'm not. But I really wanted to get into that side of the house because they had an overwhelming majority, and it would have been nice to have more just people I can trust and get around with that. But it was just kind of like we just were never meant to work together.
Right.
So
right.
I had to get him out.
So Jake, you were personally trying to get Liz thrown up on the block. Do you think that would have worked out better, or like what do you think would have happened if Liz was thrown up there?
Well, in retrospect, looking at it, Liz is playing a lot better game than I thought that I was giving her credit for. Still, my threat would have been Ollie this week. I already put him on the block. And then Maxim was, like I said, she was like a loud presence in the house. But like I was in the bedroom, she was in the kitchen. I just could hear like being loud, and I was like, I want to be your friend, but like we were never in the same room at the same time. To answer your question though, yeah, Ollie would still be my target. Especially after everything that I've seen, I think I made the right move there.
Yeah. Do you think the votes would have came out a different way if you put Liz up? Do you think it would have been more of a landslide for Popoli to go home?
Looking back at it now, I think so. Yeah. Just because Liz had all those personal connections, it wouldn't have been as much of a sway, I think.
Gotcha. Let's move on to Madison's parkour punishment. Wasn't that a sight to see? So a little behind the scenes on that. I guess so. Yeah, Madison got the punishment. It was something that I didn't think someone like Madison was gonna get it. So obviously it was a challenging parkour course. Madison's never played Minecraft on PC before, so it was a very interesting thing to happen. Popoli, I mean, you made it happen. You gave her the punishment. So
can I just say, I saw a comment on the last episode saying, "Fuck Popoli. I hope he goes home. He's fucking awful. I hate him for giving Maddie that punishment." I'm like, bro, chill. I just wanted a movie. Like, they were coming for my throat, bro.
Yeah, and I heard you say you wanted to see Spider-Man, right? Isn't that true? You were hoping it was Spider-Man. Yeah.
I've still not seen the new one.
Neither have I. I haven't seen it either yet. I'm going to though. Definitely will.
I've already seen it.
Oh,
so.
what'd you think, Rob?
Was it worth it?
Without saying anything, it's worth the watch. Yeah. It's worth the watch.
I really liked the first one. I thought it was
Robster Palin approved.
Robster.
Yeah.
Robster, what did you think about Madison doing this parkour challenge? Were you on the server at that point? Were you there?
I was in the server, but I was like somewhere else. But seeing her do the parkour competition for the first time since she's got the account, I have to give her a hands down round of applause for her.
Yeah.
Knowing that it is the first time she has ever done a parkour type of competition, like I give her props. Like good for her. Like if she didn't do this competition, she would have been on the block next week. So props to her.
Yeah, man. Does she get the Robert Palin seal of approval?
Is that a yes?
That's probably a yes. Let's see everyone's
okay, all right, yeah, we'll take it.
You gotta earn it.
It was a very intense moment of silence.
It was.
There.
He had to process. He had to think about it. He had to really think about it. All right, yeah. So Madison completes the parkour challenge. A little behind the scenes stuff that you guys may have not seen in the episode, but if you pay close attention, you would have seen that the course was made a little bit easier. There was just some things that even a normal person, not saying that Madison's not normal, but like saying that like even the average parkour player wouldn't have been able to do. So we had to make it a little bit easier. That was something that the Dream Team did not test out correctly before.
We didn't account for Madison.
Yeah, we didn't account for Madison. Like out of all people, we would have not expected Madison to get that, but hey, she got it, and she did it. She got all 10 laps. Obviously we couldn't get every lap on video, but yeah, she did do all 10. I will say that, and I'm sure Robster everyone else here can also say that she did all 10. We were there for all.
We were all there cheering for her. No, what an underdog story.
Yeah,
literally.
Going
insane. From not being able to drop an item to do the parkour.
Exactly. So much can happen in a week, right? That's correct.
Right?
I'm not gonna lie, the little devil in me was hoping kind of that she failed it, so a nomination spot would be filled up next week. So I didn't,
cheerleader.
Right. I mean, I was actually surprised on how much people were in the backyard supporting her with that in mind, that like she could be on the block. So it kind of shows you like how close you guys become in such a short amount of time. I like that. It's cool, especially this cast. This cast just delivered as a family, and even after the show. So we had that punishment happen, but then we have on the other side we have a reward. We have Popoli's video reward that he won, and Popoli ultimately took Beans and Liz. So Popoli, why did you decide to take both of them on this reward?
So if I was doing it now, I would have totally done it differently. I took Beans because I needed her to use the veto on me, so I had to keep her in my good books. And I think it was between Liz and Bimo at the time, because they were probably two of the other people I was closest with. But Bimo, clearly from the votes, was actually allied with me more than I thought, and Liz was less so. But watching that episode, if I was to do it now, like I would have taken Jake and Aiden, I think, because I wanted to talk to you, Jake, and you were just not talking to me. So I would have taken you there under the presumption of the movie, and I would have fucking killed you.
British people aren't real. You can't convince me otherwise. You are a figment of my imagination.
What was with that comment, Jake? Explain what you meant by that, because I still have no idea what you mean by that.
What, by British people not being real? It's a lie. Everyone watching this at home, if you know a British person, you don't know a British person. They're all in your head. And
It won't be a lie when I fucking
figments.
kill you.
Holy shit. God damn.
Love you.
Let's see. So yeah, you go on this video reward. You see one of my favorite Lenar videos of all time. If you guys don't know Lenar, he's one of my favorite YouTubers. He makes some of the funniest YouTube content of all time. He does those videos where it's like when you're babysitting but have to record in the studio. But this video was the when you're scared to go on a roller coaster and you're in line with your friends and you have to go on the ride. And it's more of like an inside joke. Like that video between production, like we would all joke about that video all the time. So like the reason why we decided to use that video is because it was just like an inside joke. Because like we all like go to amusement parks together, some people in production, and like we would always bring up that video like, oh, I lost my arm, like my head fell off. So that's why that video was played. It may have just been like weird, like why is this being played? But that's gives you a little insight to that. Papoli, what did you think of that video?
I completely blocked it from my memory. I mean, my leg fell off, but it was a cool video. But I was watching it in the episode, and I chose that over the veto.
Kind of regretting your decisions a little bit, right?
Oh God! Last episode, I had to pretend to be like, "Oh yes, I've got this." No, I was such a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so dumb.
Damn. Well, shit happens, man. Shit happens.
Yeah.
So then, right after though, you talk to Beans, and again, you're like freaking out. You're flipping your shit on her. Do you think that was the best approach? Talking to Beans, do you think that you should have approached her a little bit differently? And like,
no.
You think no? So what is it?
No.
Which one is it?
Because I tried being nice and it didn't work, so I had to scare her into it, and it almost worked again. It almost worked.
So what?
I was going to
ultimately
scare her into submission.
Well, holy shit! I don't even know what to say. I'm lost for words.
British people aren't real. I don't know what to tell you.
The police like, yeah, this is really my last time on the podcast. I gotta go out with a bang. He really said I'm pulling out all the stops. But yeah, so something that I think was interesting in this conversation that you said I won't let Jake touch you. So what did you mean by that?
No, I'm listening. Go ahead. What do you mean by that?
Right. Okay. So I'd gone to a movie. I had Liz and Beans. I had two lovely ladies with me. It was nice and chill. I was just like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm gonna protect you. You know what? Jake's. He's not gonna put you on the block.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's gonna be okay. There's nothing else meant by it.
Okay.
You're ruining my Edgic edit, and I don't appreciate that. I need to keep my CP5, and you're bringing me down.
No, like Jake has a crush on Beans, and that is why he wanted me out.
Oh wow!
Because
It didn't get it on
he wanted
air.
her.
I also think it shows because what was it? Jake wouldn't even include you in the GG's alliance, Papoli, right? He didn't consider you a doll. No one did. Isn't that crazy, Papoli?
No. I guess British people can't be gay.
I don't think so. When I
Apparently
went to Europe,
they don't exist.
I looked around, it was just all straight people.
No.
Yeah, and then there was also no one there in the first place. So I was like, okay.
Shit.
I think
Yeah, the Queen won't allow it.
What did you say, Brian?
What? How, bro?
Wait, what did you say?
What did you just say,
Six
Brian?
people came into this podcast, and only 4 are gonna fucking leave, Brian.
You're gonna kill
Who's
the
the
only
other
black
one?
one in the podcast.
Who's the other one? Who's the other one not leaving?
I think I can take a gander. Yeah.
Damn.
I didn't say anything.
Damn.
I
think-
heard you said something.
You bring up the Queen's name again, and it'll be the last thing you ever do.
God save the
Sorry
Queen.
about the Queen. Yeah, well, a little bit late
Oh.
for that.
I
Who said that?
would like to add about like the GGs and the dolls. I think
Yes.
at the time this was recorded, I was only like slightly out,
Mhm.
so it wasn't like something that I was like super public with.
Yes.
So if I was, maybe things would have gone differently. But you know,
I mean, hey, it just happened.
that's something that was just out of control there. Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe if this season was filmed a month later or 2 months, 3 months, who knows what could have happened? Who knows?
What if season 9 was just season 8 cast again?
Yeah. Season 8. Redux. It was just Redux.
8.8. Yeah. Not 8.8. 8.5.
Oh, well, speaking about season 9, we got applications are officially out as of Saturday. So go apply to season 9, and who knows? Maybe you'll end up in an interview with me and Robster. Who knows? Maybe you'll end up in an interview with us, and maybe some.
And your ex-girlfriend.
Maybe does the season 8 cast have any tips to anyone who is applying to be on the show?
Genius, bro. This is why you're on the. This is why you're in production.
Look at that marketing.
This is why you listen to the podcast to get this information.
Exactly. Yes.
Because you never know. You never know. You could be on next season.
Robster.
Well, you have any tips? Any of the season 8 cast? Any tips to anyone who's applying for the season?
Definitely.
We'll start with Ray. Yeah.
Yeah. Just be yourself. Like, I wasn't completely interesting. I just kind of gaslighted Andrew into thinking that I'm a better person than I really am, and it ended up working because I ended up getting on. But also, like, honestly, you can just tell the world anything about you. Like, we'll take it into account. They do.
I will say, especially like Brian's video. Brian did a video, and he was just telling us about the things that were in his room. It doesn't have to be. You don't have to go into detail. No, I'm being serious. Like, you don't have to go into detail about what your strategy is going to be. We just initially what we're looking for when we open up those application videos, we want to see the type of person you are. This way we figure out what other people you would mesh with and not mesh with. For example, Papoli's video, very polarizing. Again, I'll use that word, polarizing, word of the day. And he honestly, from the minute I opened up that video, I knew he was going to be on the show. The minute I saw the video. Jake, I knew he let's go to Jake. Yeah. So for Jake, the reason why I thought he was going to be on, I thought he was like the token super fan. I knew that he needed that spot. Ray, he seemed like I mean, honestly, if you guys ever see his video, he was standing there like this. He seemed like he was tough shit. He felt very confident. Guy was like, but he was 17 years old, but he looked like he was much older and mature for his age, and which not.
He's 24.
Not saying you look old or anything, Ray.
I still get that comment. So I'm getting some scruff here.
Yeah, bro. So I mean, Ray. Those are the reasons why each of those people were cast off of first impression. Now, when you go into the interview stage, that's when we dig deeper into like what kind of game you're going to play, you know, the types of, you know, how long you've been watching, all that kind of stuff. We just kind of get to know, and we kind of brief you of what to expect from the show. But yeah, does anybody here have any more just kind of like experiences going through casting that maybe people may not know? Anybody?
Pick me. Okay, I pick myself.
Then we'll go to Brian.
Okay, so firstly, like Ray said, I completely agree. Be yourself. Add on to that, though, be the most entertaining version of yourself. And this comes into play a lot. I've done a lot of like personal essays on myself. They don't need to know that you are like, oh, I like dance, and then I'm also into game shows, and then I also like reading. Lean into something and go with it, and make sure to get their attention in the first few seconds, and be that person, because you are a dynamic person. Everyone is a dynamic human being, but you need to show them that you need to have that spot in the cast. And like Andrew said, I was chosen as the super fan. What can I say? I can guarantee you so many super fans probably applied. That's why we're watching. We love this show, right? I made myself stand out in that aspect, and I showed them why.
Exactly. Brian, you were going to say something.
Yeah, just don't be intimidated when you go into it. Like if you're intimidated, I personally... It's like, I get that the application process is serious, but it's not as serious as you need to be shaking in your boots and like shivering your timbers because you're going to like pee your pants or something because you're recording
peeing your pants.
Exactly. If you are peeing your pants, you need to wait like at least another season probably because you need to just go into it with confidence. Don't be scared about it. Just because I just saw the applications open. I was like, hey, I'm of age now. You know, to like make my own decisions. I have a job and stuff. I can like plan my stuff ahead and I can actually make time for it. So, and I was intimidated to go on it at first, but as I did the video, I just started letting loose more about myself, explaining about my room that nobody cares about. But, you know, besides the point, just don't be scared of it. Just it's not like something you should be scared of. It's just something fun for you to do and get yourself out there.
Exactly.
I'd also like to add, like, I think it's very important for you to like stand out because how many applications did you get for season 8? I'm imagining it was like
It was over 100.
It was about 100.
Yeah, it was over 100.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
For sure.
So there's got to be like 10, 14 people that need to stand out. So like for me, I was wearing a Batman costume in a suit. So it's like, as we said, Brian was quirky, talking about it in the room. Like I've not seen these things, so I think being yourself, but like Jake said, exaggerating it a bit and just standing out, that works as well. Or you can also date someone that's also on the show, and Andrew will just put you on.
Yeah, exactly.
That also
The last reference I'm gonna make for at least 5 minutes.
Then there was Brad with his interview video. He had like the then he had the diary room where Brittany was stuck to Brendan.
Yeah,
and
that was in his interview. Yeah, his interview. Really funny.
That's iconic.
Yeah, really funny. Brad in his interview, he showed up. We do the interviews over Zoom. Showed up, his background was changed to have Brittany and Brendan from season 12 of Big Brother, where they were like chained together, and it was just like Brittany saying "help me." I don't know. We just thought it was funny. We knew from there that like Brad was a super fan. Like you could tell like Brad knew what he was getting himself into, and I don't know. Like we knew at that point he had like a sense of humor. So it was like as long as like
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
standing out.
Exactly, stood out. Which I mean, we already like we're gonna cast Brad because what kind of 30-year-olds are applying to this show anyway? You know what I mean? So I mean that was just that was a standout thing as its own. Yeah,
Ray looks about 30.
No.
Oh my god.
No.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm 4.5 years older than you. This doesn't make sense.
Well, also you
wouldn't
are British
say.
and you don't exist, so you got to remember that.
True.
That's
Yeah.
true.
This is what we non-Brits look like.
Yeah, we like wrinkle a lot faster.
Oh, y'all don't moisturize.
I try. You don't know my skin ritual?
Yeah, your skincare. Jake's gonna drop his skincare routine after the finale.
Yeah, in the
Yep.
book.
He's gonna drop.
I don't
He's
get
gonna
the
drop
money,
a
I have to
memoir.
get
He's
it
dropping a
somewhere else.
memoir and a skincare routine.
Look forward to it.
Anyway, back to what we're here about. Big Brother Minecraft
Back to
season
the
8.
actual game.
The best season of Big Brother Minecraft of all time, as you guys can obviously tell by now, because Papoli's gone finally. No, I'm just kidding. We go into the HOH room. We cut to a conversation where, well, it's actually a DR. We cut to a DR of Maxim saying how Maxim wants to kind of disassociate themselves from Madison. So then we cut to a conversation with Jake and Maxim talking, and Jake then drops the bomb like, oh yeah, so you know about the GG's alliance, right? Or the girls and the gays, and Maxim's like, there is no girls and gays alliance. So Jake, I can see like you may have been like kind of concerned at that point, right? Because it seemed a little strange why Maxim wasn't saying anything. So what really went on in that conversation?
Minecraft Big Brother is like the largest, funniest game of telephone ever because we're socializing, right? We got like, it isn't days on end. It's like, we got like a period of time to talk, and then you have a period of time to tell that people to this people, and like exchange this information. As you can see, we have literally had three different alliances that are all the same thing. We had Papoli's Angels, we had the girls and the gays, and we had the dolls. So when I bring it up to Maxim, I'm like, hey Maxim, I have a really cool idea I think you're gonna like. And then I have no idea that Maxim has made this dolls alliance.
Yes.
So when she's like, that does not exist, and is like getting like accusatory with me, I'm like, dang, okay, I thought you'd appreciate it. So obviously there's a little bit of a miscommunication, but that's kind of just part of the process of this game show, right? Sometimes even as a HOH, I'm not getting all this information, and stuff like that happens.
And then on top of that, you're like, oh yeah, and by the way, you're probably gonna be a pawn this week.
Yeah, I don't think Maxim appreciated that. I will say though, looking back at that, I feel like I could have knowing Maxim, I handled that in the best way that I probably could, and Maxim still got upset with me. So
Yeah.
I did my part. We'll see how that turns out for future weeks. But
Well, yeah, we will see exactly. Which, yeah, expect the unexpected. But
Expect
that's all I'll say.
unexpected.
Yeah. So you guys have that conversation. Maxim's not happy. Then we go to this iconic conversation of Papoli and Jake talking. They finally get a chance to talk, and it's right before the veto meeting. And this is where you obviously say the famous line, "You can't trust British people; they don't exist." So that's where that comes
Amen. British people don't exist.
from. Papoli, what is going on, bro? What are you doing?
I'm ready
He's
to
getting
fight.
ready to fight.
Ready to fight Jake right now.
Listen, I did karate in 5th grade. I'm a green belt. I haven't done it in like more than 10 years, but that's
Yeah.
besides the point. You want to go?
I'm trying to rip my shirt.
Oh damn, he's turning into the Hulk.
Yeah.
Fuck it, whatever. Yeah,
What
Matt,
are we talking about?
me and you in the bedroom, like in the HOH room.
Hate
Me
you.
and the
in the
live
bedroom.
action SpongeBob character. I love the SpongeBob cosplay, Pipoli.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's SpongeBob.
Literally,
I'm SpongeBob.
It's been the only thought in my head this entire podcast. I've been waiting.
I get that so much. I go to weddings, I go to job interviews, and it's like, oh, SpongeBob. I'm like,
I'm
You know what?
SpongeBob.
Oh my god.
So yeah, you guys have the conversation, Papola. You pretty
Yeah.
much know your time is your time is numbered. Your time in the house, you have an expiration date. The veto meeting happens. Bean uses it on herself, surprisingly, because we just had a conversation with her in the kitchen with a bunch of people when she was like, "It's going to be a last minute decision for me." So I bet the viewers, which the episode hasn't aired yet, but when it does, I bet the viewers are going to be clenching their teeth because it really is like you don't know what she's going to do, because Beans is the type of person where will she use the veto on Papoli? Will she do that sacrifice? You never know. So if it's ever going to happen in the series, it would be Beans using it on Papoli. It didn't happen, sadly. Papoli then starts an active shooting in the house.
Oh my god.
There was promptly, security came in, took him out.
Okay.
The behind the scenes things, you didn't really see that in the episode. But.
Yeah.
Don't shoot. I'm just kidding.
I'm not
YouTube,
kidding.
that is a toy. That is a prop. That is
It's a
not
toy
real.
gun.
Before I get
This just got child
demonetized.
restricted.
I'm British.
Yeah, I'm gonna
I
get
can't
child
own guns.
restricted. Hold on, yeah. So that was pretty much that. Veto doesn't get used. Trying to think. So then you guys are all scrambling. Papoli, it's like you having a conversation with Ray, and Ray admits to you at the last minute that Ray has you as a target or bounty target, doesn't plan on targeting you. What did you make of that?
I was absolutely blown away, but I wanna ask Jake about it. So obviously I was hearing that you were my target. I know I was your target for the week. Was that what you were saying at first, and you just kind of went along with it, and people thought I was your bounty target, or was that your plan the whole time?
Well, I think what happened was, and as far as bounty cards, starting the week, my plan was to put up, at this point, in my mind, I just introduced the GG's Alliance, so I wanted to put up a guy and a girl to make it, now I'm like in between two sides of the house. So you were not my bounty card target. And going into the week, we see a conversation with you, Beans, and I think also Ray, of where Beans proposes the idea of like, I think Jake's doing this because you're his target. And then Beans talks to me later about that and asks me that directly. And in that moment, I make a split decision to say, okay, this is my storyline now. So it's because Beans brought it up to me asking that. I thought I could cover my trail, because if you remember, Aiden is my target, and I do not want, Mr. HOH Veto to know about that yet.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, Ollie's hopefully leaving this week, and hopefully that secret can leave with him.
Right.
That's so funny that we did like the same strategy. Like,
I know, literally.
me and DJ.
We twined.
Like we would have worked so well together, but
we would have next season for real. But like,
but I had to be
this
British.
opportunity, you just had to be British. So we'll work on that.
Yeah, you just
I
had to be
remember-
British. That's crazy. Bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
When Ray told me though, I was like, my brain was just
Blown.
like I was so shook. I was like, what do you mean? Like, because I had no idea why you wanted me out then. It made no sense to me, because I know I was a dumbass and made that comment about me and Beans at the start. But in my head, in the show, it was just like a joke. I didn't realize it put such a big target on my back. That one line fucked me so hard. It's like, oh my, if Beans wasn't on the show, I'd love to see what happened, because I feel like so much stuff would have changed. But I'm so glad she got the opportunity.
What did you say, Brian?
Wait, Ray.
What did you say?
I said first brute.
First brute.
Yeah,
that's tough. That's tough.
If you went first with her, then to you.
But Ray, I wanted to ask you, when you revealed to Papoli that you had him as a bounty target, what were you trying to salvage there? Were you like, what was the strategy behind that?
Yeah, what's the thought process?
I was trying to go for like a win-win scenario, because I didn't really have any sway over the week. It was mostly just talking to people and trying to build bonds. But the moment I realized, like, Papoli and Beans, like, what is it? One of them's coming off the block, most likely. And I was thinking if Papoli comes off the block, that's good because, not not to nag at you, but you are a bit of a loudmouth, Papoli. So that would be good for my games.
Yeah.
It would be like, an obvious shield in the house. But if, Beans did pull herself off, I was thinking, okay, either I can get someone else that's not Papoli out, or I do get Papoli out and I get a bounty card for the next week. So I honestly just wanted you to, like, I was really hoping you would get away with that week scot-free. But, as we saw in the video, you didn't. But I was mostly just trying to, like, cause more chaos, see what I can do, make myself stay in the shadows, because I don't want to be popping out too early.
Yeah.
And ultimately, it worked out for you, Ray, because you did end up getting the bounty card. So
I did.
that is
and we'll see what happens with that.
And we will see what happens with that moving forward. Papola, you were going to say something.
I was just like, I thought when I exposed you, Jake, at the speeches, I was like, yo, I've got him. I'm staying.
Got him.
It's easy. And then I was like 6-3, and I was like,
yeah.
huh? Like,
How did that work out?
But it kind of, it's really interesting because obviously you've got the Nike Alliance, you, Jake, Ray, and Aiden. And all three of you were going for different angles. So Jake trying to get me out. Ray's like, yo, I want to work with you. You're my actual target. And Aiden's going around the house, which wasn't shown much in the episode. But Aiden wanted to keep me in as well. So it was like all three of you were going at different angles, but saying the same shit to each other. I love that. This is why guys can't work together.
It is really weird, though, because Aiden, it did kind of rub me the wrong way in a little bit, because he was trying to save you, and that did happen. He was going around the house trying to save you, but then he did all of that work to then just turn his back on you. And I wish he was on this podcast right now, because I want to ask him why he did that. But, like, does anybody else know why that happened? Like, how did that come to fruition? Brian? You don't know? No, he doesn't know.
Do I know?
I might have a
Who knows what Aiden's thought?
That's what I'm saying, because, like, Aiden just does the most random shit. He throws up Heather on the block. Heather goes home, so I don't know. I
think
don't
he was
know.
just trying to save face. Like, in that situation, I thought it was going to be like a landslide. Clearly, it was closer than I think anyone thought. But, like, I think he was just not trying to be on the wrong side of the numbers, have another failed plan, right?
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, if Aiden did vote for me, it would have only been one vote off, which was nuts.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. And I'm excited to see the live chat, because the way that votes are ordered, I think it is edited. I think the episode is edited to look like I'm going to stay.
Yes.
So it's Aiden. I mean, in a way, he didn't want to look like a plan failed, but in a way, his plan did fail again. He tried to stop his plan failing and failed at that. All respect to Aiden.
Aiden, what do you have to say about that?
Can we stop the Aiden hate in the comments and the Discord? Like, he gets slated and everything.
Yeah,
like, there was a tier list where he was put on F. Aiden's, I mean, he's all right, but like, let's just chill.
I think Aiden's a very misunderstood guy. I think he really is, and I don't think this podcast and the episodes really do him any justice at all. Like, I think we really just shit on him for fun. But like, Aiden, like, we all really, I mean, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I love Aiden. Like, I think he's a great guy. So,
Let's spread some love to Aiden.
You know that gif of that guy, that waiter with like 50 champagne glasses on the tray and he slips, it all goes, that's just Aiden this game.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. That was pretty much, that's all we saw in this episode. We see Papoli get evicted. Papoli shoots like 10 million arrows at the front door, and that was pretty funny. Papoli says this house is full of liars, manipulators, and backstabbers. And then,
welcome to Big Brother.
And then I say, and then I gave my favorite line. Would you say that these are pretty little liars?
Bro. I think I'll leave now.
Yeah.
Andrew, do you want to elaborate why you said that? I know why you said that.
Oh, wait, actually, I could show. Wait, hold on. I worked on the show.
Oh, my God.
Pretty Little Liars.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you guys are on the plug. Yeah, it's a little plug. I did work on the show. Shameless plug. Yeah, I did not enjoy working on it, but anyway, that was a long time ago. We've moved on, and we are on to bigger and better things, right? Because like we're at now, we're at Big Brother Minecraft season 8. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? But yeah, so looking into the next week now. So let's see, what do we know? We know Ray has a bounty target. Papoli did have a bounty target. No, Papoli did not have a bounty target. It was Liz has his. Yeah, Liz still has hers, and TJ had one, but he's gone. So it's just Liz and Ray that have bounty targets. Jake, you're ineligible for HOH. So I don't even remember like what happens. Oh yeah, I know what happens this week. You guys are in for a really unexpected turn of events this week, and that's all I'm gonna say because this week took me months to edit. That's all I'll say. Like this week was just a fucking nightmare to edit. Oh my god, that's all I'll say. I think yes, episode 8. Mark this down on your calendars. In 2 weeks from whenever you're listening to this, hopefully, it will be a triple eviction. So you guys heard it here first. We're having a triple eviction on Big Brother Minecraft for the first time since season 5. Crazy shit, guys.
And we're having a comeback where someone from the pre-jury comes back in, right?
yeah, maybe in a different multiverse. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much that. Before we wrap out this podcast, does anybody have any sort of like unfinished business to kind of get out there, or are we kind of like all done for now?
Congrats to make it the jury, everyone.
Yeah.
Let's go us. I'm so glad everyone here made it to jury. Yeah.
Yeah.
Papoli,
Good for you, Papoli. You
plug
suck.
real quick?
What'd you say, Jake?
I said, Papoli, do you have anything that you want to plug real quick?
Oh yeah. That's right.
Oh,
I want to plug your fucking mouth with cork.
Yo!
Oh my god.
No, I mean, this season, it was so fun. Like, I played it horrendously. I completely fucked it. Like, there's just so many mistakes where I was never going to make it far with how I was playing unless Beans did go out at this point. Me and Beans being in the house together was not going to end well for both of us. One of us had to go. I mean, it was a lot of fun. I'm chill with absolutely everyone. It's been so fun. And I learned never to e-date again because, as Heather said, e-daters should burn in hell.
That's crazy.
Burn in hell.
Heather knew this entire time.
Yeah.
She called it from the get-go.
Papoli, I did want to mention real quick. It looks like you're sitting outside Privet Drive from Harry Potter. Because I know that like British people don't exist, but Harry Potter also doesn't exist. But it seems like he may in your universe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. That's right, Jake, Brian, watch your back. I'm gonna with Guardian Leviosa your ass.
hey, careful.
Okay, Potterhead.
Minor.
You mad because I said it wasn't Love Island?
Oh yeah, that was how are we gonna ignore that? That was a great fucking line that Brian put. That was great.
Yes.
What a burn.
And I also want to add as well. When you said that Pretty Little Liars line, the line I said before, where everyone's a cheater, a manipulator, and an actress, that's a line from that season's Love Island as well.
Oh, is it really? Wow. That's funny.
So
I
we
didn't even know that.
references back to back. But this episode was great, and I do want to say. Check out Papoli on YouTube because after this podcast, same day, something crazy is gonna drop, and to do with the season, it's gonna be nuts. You're gonna piss your pants.
Papoli, where can they find it? What's your YouTube at? What is it?
It is Pepoli.
Peppoli. Guys,
that
check
is
it out.
correct. And the picture is my face.
Yeah, it is.
You might just cry.
Might just cry. Yeah, guys, check out Papoli's YouTube channel. Check out the rest of the season, Big Brother Minecraft, when it airs. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Check out the Big Brother Minecraft wiki page. Go apply for season 9. Go check out the Edgic. Trying to think. Yeah, Ray's family is also trying to get in on this action.
Go check out Ray's family.
Yeah.
Check out London. Yeah.
Check out Red's Hayline in a few years. It's gonna be like
but before we end the podcast, I will get into some of the comments from some of these YouTube the episodes. I will read some of them, and maybe we'll get some reactions. Okay. So we have from I think I've read one of this person's comments before. We have from a raft of wandering otters. They commented prematurely on the episode 6, like the premiere page. They said, when Beans uses the veto, I think Liz and Ivy will whisper into Jake's ear to put anyone not associated with their alliance on the block. Okay.
Well,
Ivy really didn't have much screen time this episode, did she?
Ivy did not. Ivy
Ivy really low key.
Yeah, it's like crazy. When you win HOH, you just become invisible. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Also, I think it's funny that TJ commented. He said, "Leave it to Papoli to bring another woman for the same date."
Oh, classic Papoli.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
No, to answer the first comment though,
Yes.
obviously that didn't go as planned. I mean, at this point, Ivy was trying to separate Maxim and Maddie, but as far as Liz and Ivy, they were working with Maxim. So sorry, got someone else out.
All right. I think that's I there's a whole bunch of comments. I don't really want to scroll through and find some. I think we're good. Let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I appreciate all of you for listening and tuning into this podcast every week. We have Big Brother 25 premiering in a very short time.
Yeah.
It's gonna be next week. I will be
Like
at the
3 days.
I will be at the Big Brother 25 premiere party in New York City. I will also be trying to get people from the real Big Brother onto my podcast. Not covering Big Brother Minecraft Season 8, but we're gonna be covering Big Brother 25 starting as soon as the episodes start coming out. So we'll be doing more podcast content as well. That'll be on the channel and YouTube, Spotify, Apple, whatever you get your podcast. So that's gonna be exciting. Does anybody have any final words? Robster, especially you? You got anything?
I say can't wait to see how this season 25 turns out. Let's just say that.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love we're recording this when the house has finally been revealed.
Yes.
Like
hours
the
ago.
house looks great. Yeah, as we're recording this. So I'm excited to see how the season will play out. Let's just say that.
Isn't it 100 days as well?
It's
did they say?
100
It is 100
days.
days.
Yeah,
100
yeah.
days.
It's crazy.
That's crazy.
wow.
Yeah, we got a lot of content to cover
4
this.
months.
Yeah, we got a lot of
Yeah.
content to cover. So it's going to be great. Appreciate all you guys for coming out here. I'm sure we'll see some of you guys back on the podcast in a few weeks. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all
Napoli has
for...
his hand or something.
Oh yeah,
Beep,
Papoli,
beep,
what's up?
beep,
What's up,
beep, beep.
Papoli? What's up?
I just wanted to say I'm still not wearing socks.
Oh, he's still not wearing socks. Great.
I'm not.
Let's see
Do you
it.
want to see my feet? Do you
Picture
want to see my
didn't happen. No, I don't know about that.
Not for free. Not for free.
Not for free. Yeah, you got to pay for that.
Onlyfans.com/Papoli.
Oh,
That's just
okay. Anyway,
Okay,
guys.
so you are plugging something.
Yeah, it's...
Or someone.
You can check us out there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Damn.
Napoli 9.
All right, guys. Thank you all for listening. We'll see you all in the next podcast episode.
Thank you for the support.
Bye bye.